it's not only using the different tools or trying to force to use one tool. It's also the methods, the tool agnostic methods, how complicated is your life that you need different approaches to tackle it. So talking about routines, time blocking, and all this.
Paperless Movement, your productivity, your way.
I was building up Paperless Movement since 2018 as a side hustle to my main job. So I was working 10 to 13 hours in this main job. And in addition, I was doing the Paperless Movement. And now I'm all in Paperless Movement. That's my only focus area. So that's why it's the beauty about the two of us, that we have always black and white, literally Correct. Sitting here. Yeah. So Paco is running
and a German and a Spanish.
It can't get better. And well, Paco is running 4 businesses, and now I can now fully focus on just the Paperless Movement. And I realize more and more when we talk about Sansama and I try to force the things in Sansama, it actually gives me more administrative efforts to manage my day going into Sansama. So I realize more and more I can really live just from priorities. So I know that I will work the whole day on the Paperless Movement, and then I just need to know what I need to do now. And that's what you learn in the iCore journey and in the courses that we have there, to understand this prioritization of your tasks and what you need to work on now. And I really think then you don't need a calendar. The calendar to me is really to have the events, to have meetings, to have the meetings with you, Paco, but also the collaboration meetings and the one-on-one coachings and all this. This needs to be in my calendar. This needs to be set in stone. So to me, cluttering it up with additional, what we already say you should never do, cluttering it up with all the different tasks in your calendar, it looks so neat. So when people go to my calendar and say, oh, you have nothing to do except these few events there. And I say, no, man, in between there are all the time blocks where I'm working on the priorities. And that gives me calm, because to me then I just need to go to ClickUp and I know exactly what I need to work on next and to realign what needs to be worked on. We have our agenda meeting on Monday. But other than that, I use less and less Sansama because I don't know why. I have no team besides Paco and team members that are working with us. But again, it's all organized, so I'm not in the team meetings there. So this is really a different perspective than for Paco. And Paco can now tell you the other side, how it is.
For sure, because I cannot live without Sansama. For me, it's a beautiful app. It's, for me, the representation of time management is called Sansama for me. Especially because whenever I see that something needs specific attention or time frame that I want to block, for me it's very important, because in all the different areas where my tasks are living, whenever I see that any of them needs to be a schedule and I want to force, because scheduling equals deadline equals completion of and completing the task. And the point is that, talking about my second project management that is linear, I do it a lot. Okay, I grab the task coming from linear and Sansama and I put it there. And for me, it's how I handle, because at any moment when I need to reply to that question, what do I do now? It's just taking a look or having a look at Sansama, and it's crystal clear for me. You know, I also love the card approach. For me, it's talking about time management. And the beauty is that I don't want to, from time to time, I include the events just to have an idea if I'm going to do something after or before an event, you know, that it's a schedule, but I keep all the events, I mean, all the meetings, all the commitments that I have with people from the outside on Vincal. Okay, that's the calendar. And I know that just one click away, going to Vincal, and I see all the time that is really blocked. The other is optional, it's something that I decide. But for me, talking about one app that rule all, the most important asset is time. And for me, Sansama is the time management tool, and that's why for me it's so crucial.
What I wanted to point out here is really the complexity. It gives you the need for additional tools and not less tools. That's what I'm saying. Right. So I try to force myself to use only ClickUp. That's something we've been trying for a long time, and it's not possible. Yeah. One app to replace them all. I think they still have a long way to go, as any other tool out there as well. But you mentioned it already. You have ClickUp and you have Linear, and then you also still have Asana, right? So you bring in all these tasks from 3 different project managers into Sansama, and then you get a holistic view on all the tasks you have from these things.
Everybody's talking about the